process through my mind while I'm listening to all of you share your thoughts and feelings. But for our viewers who may not know what mindfulness is, we always hear that term, stay mindful, be mindful of your surroundings, be mindful of what's going on. What is mindfulness as a definition, and what are some benefits of staying mindful?
Appreciate the question, and thank you for the youth for sharing your feedback and thoughts on the moment to arrive. And so, what is mindfulness? We just did an exercise that is a mindfulness exercise. So, how do we define it? I define mindfulness as awareness of mind, body, and craft with an attitude of curiosity and kindness. So again, that's awareness of mind, body, and craft, or your surroundings, with an attitude of curiosity and kindness. And so how do we do that? Well, we intentionally access the breath so that we can focus our mind and bodies to make healthy choices. And so it's the awareness, it's attitude, but it's also leaning in on mental skills, which include breathing techniques.
Interesting. I was writing some of this down really quick while you were talking, Jason, because these are great tools and things that we can use in our daily lives. And my other question that I had is for like beginners, people who are just beginning this mindfulness journey. How could they get started, and how should they start out practicing mindfulness?
Yeah, so there's many ways to get into the practice of mindfulness. One is just accessing the breath. The breath is with us anytime, anywhere. And the power of mindfulness really comes from harnessing an intentional breath. Because I bet if I asked you to remember to breathe in the next 15 minutes, you may forget. You may have one of those thoughts that Patrick was talking about that come and cloud your thinking to remember and have that memory. And so what mindfulness does is create some space for us to have some clarity. Kind of like what Shamar was sharing, he uses it in sport, said he uses it in education, sometimes in the classroom. And overall, he said, mostly I remember to do it sometimes in life, kind of when things aren't going so well, when I actually have to lean in, be more aware of mind, body, and my craft, golf, my craft, being a student athlete, my academics. And when we do that, in golf, he used the example under a tree. Well, you have to be curious and kind to yourself to get that ball out. And so he uses a visualization of the hole in one to help himself get out. And so he actually used the word positive thinking. And that's exactly what curiosity is. Curiosity is about the wonder, the not knowing. And so mindfulness creates the conditions for us to solve a problem. The breathing is not going to get the ball out the tree, out the sand. We actually have to act to do it. But by being kind to ourselves mentally, by connecting our mind and body through the breath, mentally, I thought about taking that intentional breath, and then physically, I take the breath. So it instantly becomes a mind-body activity. And so most generally, I would say that mindfulness is the bridge. You got the beautiful bridge behind you, Justin. I would say that's mindfulness. Mindfulness is the bridge. because it takes us from adversity to result. It takes us from doubt to confidence. And it takes us from problem to solution. But it's not the end-all solution. Taking the breath is not going to solve our problem, but allows us the clarity to take and put our best foot forward. And the breath, or yoga, as Patrick is trained in, are mental skills that we can engage in to get onto that bridge. And so, Mustafa, as you brought up meditation and mindfulness go hand in hand, but they are distinctly different. Shamar, you kind of shared some examples around mindfulness, and Mustafa, you shared an example around meditation. I would say meditation is focusing and concentrating on one thing. So kind of like you said, you stare at the blank wall. And I really appreciate you sharing that, because most often folks think of meditation and mindfulness as something you instantly have to close your eyes. But as you shared, Mustafa, staring at the blank wall, your eyes are open. So we've demystified or taken away one of the stigmas or connotations of mindfulness and meditation right there. You can have your eyes open. Especially in this time of uncertainty, we're in a pandemic where we don't have as much trust as we would like. So having your eyes open, looking around your space, creating that enhanced trust in yourself, because you know, hey, I'm safe right now. And when I'm safe, I know I can just be. And that's actually where we get our most work done, our most creative work done, our most critical work done, our most challenging work done, is when we're in a place of ease, comfort, and we're able to be our authentic self. Because I bet, Shamar, I bet you don't play your best golf when you have 80,000 thoughts going through your brain, you didn't get good sleep, and you're just stressed out and overwhelmed. Mustafa, I bet even if you're staring at the wall in meditation, if you have finals coming up, your parents want you to clean your room, maybe you haven't eaten, who knows what's going on? You know, your favorite restaurant is closed. So now it's like you have all these things going on. Are you going to be able to effectively do your meditation and tap in? Probably not. And so by doing these over and over again, we're actually training that mental muscle. And by training that mental muscle, when we actually get out there in adversity and challenge, when we hit that shot, it's not the end of the world. Because we feel our feet on the floor, we're able to feel connected and grounded to something. But we also have the awareness of how to connect mind and body so we don't allow those thoughts to take us off the bridge. So I think what we have great examples here of what mindfulness and meditation are. Mindfulness are small practices that you can do anytime, anywhere. You can do it while playing a sport. There's mindful eating, mindful walking. There's the mindful exercise that we just did, the moment to arrive, where you can do it seated and it looks like meditation, but it's much shorter in length. But then on the other side, we have meditation, where you can focus in on your breath. You focus in on your awareness of seeing. And so we call that concentration. Focus. And when you continually focus, over time, that becomes concentration. And when we really want to pay attention, what do we want to do? We want to concentrate, be able to hone in, focus, In sports, we call that being in the zone. And that's really what mindfulness is all about, managing our emotions so that we can stay in the zone. Because when we have a window of tolerance, we can get too high, we can get too low, but it's great to be right in the middle. And to lean on the sports analogies, the Golden State Warriors, they actually practice mindfulness. They have 4 core principles: joy, compassion, competition, and mindfulness. And if you think about their run over the last 5 years, they were championship team. And that's because they played with joy, that curiosity and wonder, based on an understanding of mindfulness. And that led to success. And what did that success look like to us viewers? I heard people say, hey, I don't even play basketball. I don't even like basketball, but I love watching the Warriors. I love watching the Warriors. Steph Curry, he's never too high. He's never too low. Looks like he's just having fun out there. Like Justin said, just splashing them deep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because he's playing with a sense of curiosity and kindness. Regardless of what happens out here, I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to be kind to myself, because that allows me to just be. And when I'm able to just be, I don't have that stress on my shoulders, because we know when you have that stress in your shoulders, you can't stroke that through. And that's often where a lot of our tension lies, is in our shoulders, in our upper back, in our necks. Sometimes we hold our shoulders up here, we don't even know it. And so you have to say, like, hey, drop your shoulders.
So thank you, Jason. Those are powerful messages.